The summer of 1988 didn't arrive quietly for heavy metal fans. When Slayer returned after the chaos of Rain and Blood, the first notes of South of Heaven felt slower, darker, and unsettling in a completely new way. Coming off an album that barely let listeners breathe, Slayer entered Hit City West in Los Angeles in late 1987, with producer Rick Rubin, spending several intense months reshaping their sound. Rubin pushed the band to experiment with space, tension, and restraint, an idea that shocked even longtime fans. Released on July 5, 1988, South of Heaven arrived with 10 tracks that pulled back the speed just enough to let the menace sink deeper. For a band known for non-stop aggression, this was a bold pivot that immediately set the album apart within the growing field of 1988 heavy metal albums. Instead of chasing sheer velocity, Slayer leaned into atmosphere and precision. Songs like South of Heaven, Mandatory Suicide, and Behind the Crooked Cross became centerpieces, built on creeping riffs and chilling lyrics rather than pure blast. Jeff Hanneman and Kerry King allowed the riffs to breathe, while Tom Araya's vocals sounded more ominous than ever. The slower pace confused some listeners at first, especially those expecting another sonic assault, but others quickly recognized the confidence behind the shift. Even today, fans still debate the album's direction, which only adds to its reputation within classic thrash metal. Commercially, South of Heaven performed well for an album that challenged expectations. It reached number 57 on the Billboard 200, a strong showing for an extreme metal release in 80s metal history. Over time, the album earned gold certification in the United States, confirming that its impact grew steadily rather than instantly. Critics at the time were divided, with some praising the maturity and others questioning the reduced speed. Yet fan appreciation deepened as the songs proved devastating in live settings. One often overlooked detail is how confident Slayer felt in playing these new songs live. The band launched into an extensive touring cycle that lasted well into 1989, covering North America and Europe, and placing the album alongside giants of the golden era of heavy metal. South of Heaven and Mandatory Suicide quickly became live staples. With a slower pace, they carried more weight than speed alone. South of Heaven marks the moment Slayer proved their power wasn't just about speed, but about control, confidence, and knowing exactly when to strike. By slowing the pace and letting darkness breathe, they reshaped their own identity and left behind an album that still feels dangerous decades later. A reminder that in the golden era of heavy metal, Slayer was never interested in playing it safe.